Ambassador Creel Thanor of the Celestial Hegemony adjusted his ceremonial battle armor as he entered the Grand Assembly Hall of the Galactic Council. His forearms each rested on a different weapon: plasma rifle, neural disruptor, molecular blade, and gravitic crusher. Around him, the diplomatic guards of 47 other species displayed their own impressive arsenals, a rainbow of death-dealing technology that spoke to their civilization's military might. At the center of the hall, 2 humans sat quietly at a simple table. "I still don't understand the human approach to diplomacy," muttered Security Chief Vex Nara, her scaled hide bristling with built-in weapon pods. "Look at them. 2 guards, no visible weapons, not even ceremonial armor. It's almost insulting." Ambassador Creel Thanor studied the humans with his primary eyes, while his secondary eyes scanned for hidden threats. The female guard was reading something on a small device, occasionally making notes. The male guard appeared to be dozing. Neither showed any sign of the hypervigilance expected from diplomatic security. "Perhaps," Creel Thanor suggested, "humans are simply too primitive to understand proper security protocols." The Zephyrian delegate, Admiral Korth, leaned closer with his translator humming. "I researched human military capabilities before this meeting. They have impressive space-based weaponry, but their ground forces seem unremarkable. Still using projectile weapons in many units." "Exactly my point," Vex Nara agreed. "How can they protect their diplomats without proper equipment?" The meeting commenced with typical Galactic Council efficiency. Trade disputes were mediated, territorial claims were adjudicated, and several minor wars were either authorized or forbidden depending on economic impact assessments. The humans participated minimally, mostly asking clarifying questions that seemed almost naive in their simplicity. Everything changed during the 7th hour of proceedings. Ambassador Thex Minel of the Raptor Consortium, known for his species' aggressive negotiation tactics, decided to test human resolve. His people had been eyeing several human colony worlds, and traditional diplomatic pressure wasn't working. "The human presence in the Kepler sector violates ancient Raptor territorial claims," he declared, his saber claws extending for emphasis. "We demand immediate withdrawal of all human settlements." Human Ambassador Sarah Chen looked up from her notes calmly. "That's an interesting perspective, Ambassador Thex Minel. However, our archaeological surveys show human-style settlements in that sector dating back 4,000 years, long before the Raptor Consortium achieved spaceflight." Thex Minel's crest flared with anger. "You dare question Raptor history? Our warriors claimed those stars when your species was still crawling in mud." The temperature in the room seemed to drop several degrees. Every diplomatic guard in the hall suddenly became more alert, hands moving closer to weapons. Every guard, except the humans, who continued to seem remarkably relaxed. "I'm not questioning anything," Ambassador Chen replied mildly. "I'm simply noting that archaeological evidence suggests a different timeline." Thex Minel made a critical error. Perhaps frustrated by the humans' calm demeanor, perhaps sensing weakness in their unguarded posture, he lunged across the table with his claws extended toward the human diplomat. He never reached her. The male human guard, who had appeared to be sleeping, moved with fluid precision that defied physics. In one motion, he intercepted Thex Minel's attack, redirected the raptor's momentum, and deposited the much larger alien face first into the conference table with a sound like a gong being struck. The hall erupted in chaos as 47 sets of diplomatic guards raised weapons, each believing their diplomat might be next. Plasma charges whined, neural disruptors hummed, and molecular blades vibrated with deadly energy. The female human guard finally looked up from her reading. "Everyone needs to calm down," she said quietly, something in her tone not threatening, not commanding, just tired made every weapon in the room slowly lower. Ambassador Chen stood and helped the dazed Thexminal back to his feet. "Are you hurt, Ambassador?" That was quite a fall. Krill Thanor found his voice first. How? How did he move so fast? The male guard stretched and settled back into his chair. Fast? I was moving pretty slowly, actually. Didn't want to hurt anybody. But you're not armed, Vexnara said, her weapon pod still quivering with ready energy. How do you provide security without weapons? Ambassador Chen smiled. Who said they're not armed? Marcus here is a third-degree black belt in 4 martial arts, has a photographic memory for combat scenarios, and reflexes that test off the standard scales. Lisa is an expert in 17 different ways to kill someone with common household objects, and has a doctorate in xenopsychology, which means she usually knows what you're going to do before you do. She gestured around the room. Every guard here is carrying enough firepower to level a city block. But if someone attacks me with all those weapons around, people die. Lots of people. Maybe some of you, maybe some of your guards, maybe me. The human called Lisa finally closed her reading device. But if someone attacks Ambassador Chen while we're unarmed, they just get embarrassed. Much better outcome for everyone. Admiral Course Translator struggled with the concept. But what if multiple attackers coordinate an assault? Marcus scratched his head thoughtfully. Well, then things get complicated. We'd have to actually try. That usually doesn't end well for anybody. You see, Ambassador Chen continued, weapons create an expectation of violence. They escalate situations. But when humans are obviously unarmed and someone attacks anyway, well, that sends a very different message back home. The truth began to dawn on Krill Thanor. You're not unguarded. You're advertising that you don't need guards. Exactly, Lisa said, returning to her reading. Attack an armed human diplomat, and it's politics. Attack an unarmed human diplomat, and it becomes personal. Trust me, you don't want it to become personal. As the session resumed, and normal diplomatic tensions returned, every non-human guard in the room made a mental note. The humans who appeared weakest were probably the most dangerous. After all, only apex predators can afford to appear defenseless.